No way.
No way, I know, yes way. Basketball in particular, partly because I'm terrible at basketball, but you know me, I love my sports.
Yes, you do.
Basketball, it's more than just jump shots, slam dunks, logo threes. It's about fashion, hip hop, politics, bringing communities together, from the pickup games played around the city to a former U.S. president.
That's what I do.
We saw President Barack Obama's love of basketball throughout his campaigns and his presidency. He not only used it to blow off some steam, but also to connect with people and ignite political change.
I remember doing my March Madness pick on live television simply because President Barack Obama had done one. It's something President Barack Obama had in common with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and there's a new short film about it. It's called Hoops, Hopes, and Dreams. Take a look.
In the civil rights movement, nobody knew about what was going on in the South, and we had to do something about it. The only thing we could do was go where the kids were. They were on the basketball court. To know that Martin Luther King could have played their game makes them listen. And then you could talk to them about trying to stop violence in the streets.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., he gave us the playbook.
Dr. King Jr.'s daughter, Dr. Bernice King, serves as an executive producer, and two of the filmmakers are here to talk all about it. Welcome to New York Living, director Glenn Kanio and producer Alexys Feaster. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Hello,
That was a nice look down memory lane.
Yes, absolutely. We miss him so much.
Call out the nails first.
That made the poster, right?
They are the poster,
Yeah.
and she had them on her fingers. How good is that?
Fantastic. First and foremost, how did you each get involved in this film? Why was it important?
Well, it's important for the moment, but I've done a lot of work. I'm an artist, and I've done a lot of work with Tommy Smith. And at one gala for Tommy, Ambassador Young was the honoree, and he got up on stage and he said, "Tommy, did I ever tell you how good I was at basketball?" And Tommy was like, "Sure." Tommy won broke 13 world records, by the way. So Andrew Young says, "You know, I was really good at basketball." And Tommy says, "How?" And he says, "Well, Dr. King and I used to play basketball to connect with kids in the civil rights movement." I dropped my fork, I ambushed Ambassador Young in the parking lot, and I asked him if we could tell that story. And we called up our friend Michael Latt, who was our producer, was unfortunately killed in the process of making this, not in the process, but during the making.
Yeah.
And we were started though, so.
Yeah.
The mark of a true change maker. You dropped your fork and you're like, I gotta meet this guy right now.
Absolutely. And to Glenn's point, Michael Latt, our dear friend, is how I got involved in the film. And I got a phone call from a mutual friend, and they said, you know, we don't know anyone who has worked at the NBA at the levels that you have. I used to help lead our player development group, and then I also ran President Obama's athlete and celebrity strategy for his re-election campaign. And he said, we're working on this film, and I would love for you to meet the director, Glenn. We met, and it was synergies, and of course, to tell a story like this, to talk about my work with President Obama, but then to also help Dr. King's legacy be expanded into the game of basketball. How do you refuse?
You don't.
Yeah. Simply, you don't. I mean, talk about finding like the perfect person, Glenn, right?
Yeah, unbelievable.
Glenn, you have a lot of documents of Obama playing, of course, basketball because modern day, but MLK not so much. So how did you make that work?
Well, when Michael and I interviewed Ambassador Young for the film, and part of the interview, Ambassador Young said, well, I was the photographer for the movement. And we got really excited because we assumed he had the photo because he told us this whole story about playing basketball. So at the end of the interview, cameras are off, and we said, so if you were the photographer, could you get us the photo? And he goes, no, that picture doesn't exist. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, Glenn, I was on the court. I was like, well, that makes sense. So then we realized we had to do animation, and we have a really great animator named Kirill Uretsky, who is not only a great animator, but he is also a basketball fanatic. And we said we knew that a lot of NBA people were going to watch this film, a lot of real basketball heads are going to watch the film, so it had to look authentic.
Yeah.
So our whole entire team are great animators, but they're also great basketball players.
And it's also like looking at a voice from the past, but also feeling like he's right there with you, and as creatives, that's something you do seamlessly, I think. So congratulations for doing that.
Yeah, we like to think that we're like the colored pages in the middle of the big history book.
Yeah.
That you flip to get something, personality and get life out of it, and not everything's a black and white, old-timey photo, and we want to really modernize it all.
What is it, do you think, about basketball that sort of sits at this cross-section of sports, community, and politics. Why, in other words, why are people so drawn to it, and what do you hope to accomplish in doing this film?
Yeah, I think with basketball, it's the most relatable and reachable sport, right? You could be in your backyard, you could be in your driveway, you could be at your community center. Everyone can play. And it's also a game where, you know, again, levels of skill set, it doesn't matter. Like, you're in a team of 5 people and you come together and you're trying to win the game.
Right.
And so I think that that's why it's such a great unifier. It could happen anywhere at any time. And then also you have a point guard, you have someone that has to lead, you have to follow. And I think it also allows people to have this level of like leadership in their skill set as you think about, you know, trying to accomplish the goal of winning something.
Right.
And when you think about community, that's what you want. And I think that this film just shows people that you can meet people on the court, meet each other where you are, and have conversations that uplift all of us.
I love that. I'm not going to the 4th Street basketball court anytime soon because I stink. Here we are.
I live right next to a basketball court, and you do see that. And you see different ages, too, different communities, generations coming together. So I think it's really cool to continue that conversation. Another spot, social media, where you have that. So was social media technology important in this day and age to get this word out about the documentary?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think what we're seeing right now with history being erased and young people are going to social media to get their information and their facts, to Glenn's point about the animation, it's so relatable. And so we're posting clips all the time about the film and getting so much feedback of young kids and friends' kids that are like, I can't wait to watch this film because it's something that my kids are going to relate to. And why not have positivity, joy, things that, you know, uplift you as the content that you're looking at on social media today. And I think with Glenn's direction and with the team, we've been able to accomplish that with this story.
Amazing.
Say less. Congratulations, truly, and thank you for making
Thank
this
you so
film.
much.
Really, really important film. I just want the vision of you dropping your fork and running.
I thought you were going to say, I just want to go dunk.
Right. Well, that too, but you know, since that will never happen in my lifetime.
He can play though. I literally have seen him play.
I'm
He can
sorry.
hoop. He can hoop. Yes. I was there.
What position are you playing?
What's that?
What position are you
Well,
playing?
I was in the Japanese league. In the Japanese league, I played a 4. But no, not pro league, not in high school. But in the Japanese league, I'm a 4. But in the you know, American, you know, with the black and white folks, I'm like the, you know, point guard.
Right.
Can we say, do you have any
Oh, here we go.
Oh my God! No, you're killing me.
announcement or something?
Right.
Don't tempt us with a good time.
Right. Look, you got
You're
this.
killing me now.
Right. Exactly. You can
Oh,
follow
all
along.
right. I got the spot there.
Hoops, Hopes, and Dreams streams on Hulu Monday the 19th, which is also MLK Day.